You have probably seen these types of videos everywhere.
As a child, what are your assumptions of someone proud? Someone find it right.
These videos are just simple threads from Reddit with a gameplay background and keeps the viewers really engaged. But did you know creating such videos is a very manual process and can take about 20 minutes to 40 minutes, typically depending on how well versed the creator is with this tech? So, I built a way to automate this entire process and generate these pieces of content in just a couple of minutes after spending 4 to 5 hours researching and writing code for this tool. Okay, before we dive into building the project, let me warn you. The purpose of this project is to simply explore ways of building such a tool and understanding the different components that would be required to build such a tool. I'm assuming that the viewer has a basic understanding of Python and is now looking to build some real world projects. Alright, on that note, let's dive in. In this step, we will create a Reddit app which will allow us to fetch data from Reddit programmatically. So go to ssl.reddit.com/press/apps. This link will be present in the description below. Scroll down and you will see an option called create another app. So let's create one. I'll quickly name this short generator. Select script. This is for a personal script. For the about URL and redirect URL, we are going to input localhost 8080 and just paste that here and create app. So that's it. So just take a note of this ID and secret. We will be using this when we code out the project. Okay, so the first thing that we will do is set up the files for this project. I'll start with the main.py. This will be the entry point for our program. Next will be the reddit.py. So this will have all the logistics to interact with the Reddit API. Now we create the screenshot.py file. So what all data, oh wait, I think I misspelled this, 1 second. Okay, so all the data that we get from the Reddit API, that will now be processed, and then we will need to generate the images. The logic for that will be in this file. Next will be the video generation.py. So this will have the logic to combine the screenshot and the audio and then convert it into video with the gameplay background. Now we will go to the reddit.py. In this file, we will write the function we need to fetch the post from Reddit, which would be then processed to generate our shorts. To install the library, run pip3 install praw in the terminal. This is a Reddit API wrapper for Python, which will make it easier to interact with the Reddit API. Now let's just import praw. Now we will be declaring a function called getPosts, which will basically take in two parameters called subreddit name. I'll default this to ask Reddit and videos to generate, which we will default to 3. Let's declare an instance of the praw library, and this will take in parameters client ID, client secret, and user agent. So the client ID and client secret was obtained in the app. So I'll just copy and paste them right here. And for user agent, you can put use/bot. That's what I will be using. Now to fetch the post from subreddit, what we will do is post from subreddit is equal to r, that's the instance we declared above, subreddit. We'll pass in the subreddit name. So if you are not giving it any name, it will default to ask Reddit. And then we will use the filter hot and we will limit these posts to 20. Right? Let's loop through these posts for post from subreddit. And one thing that we'd want to do for the purpose of this project is basically skip any posts where over 18 is true. I'll just set up a if statement. If post dot over 18 Then we will continue. We will not process these posts. And let us just print the title here to see what we are dealing with. Let's call this function. Okay, post. So I'm not going to give it any parameter. I'm going to use the default ones that are there. And wait, we have an error here. Yeah, I forgot to add the commas. Okay, we're good. Let me clear this up. Python 3 reddit.py. All right. So we can see that the titles are coming. So we are interacting with the Reddit API through this function right here. Now we will need to add more code here to just get the data that we need and the comments that are required. Proceed further, let me just show you how I know what the instance looks like, which we get from the PRAW library. So you can head over to the PRAW documentation. You see here, we are getting the subreddit here, and we are iterating through it. If I go to the subreddit model, we get that every element in a subreddit is actually a submission, right? So we can just go back, see the submission, and these are the attributes that are available. The link for this documentation will be in the description as well. When we access comments, we get an instance of comment forest. We can get other attributes as well here, which is over 18, which we have just used, right? And title is available as well. So that's right here. Okay, with this note, let's go back to the code and code out the rest of the feature. What we want to do now is basically extract certain features that we know we would need for our screenshot generation and text to speech. So what I'm going to do here is declare an array of posts. Posts, and I will create an object, a dictionary here called P. Now in this dictionary, I'm going to start storing certain data like ID, post.id, title. We would also want to store the author dot name. So if you see this documentation, that author is actually a PRAW model, and so I have destructured it. So you can look into the documentation to see what you get here. I would want to append this to the array that we constructed before. If the length of posts is equal to videos to generate, then we would break. Also, another thing what I'm going to do right now, to see the data better, I would like to write this down to a JSON file. I will import JSON and install this using pip3 if you don't already have this. So what this code snippet is doing is basically dumping all the post into a JSON string, writing it into a file called post.json, and then closing the file. Okay, let me just save this, clear the terminal, and let's run this code now. So we can see that there were these three titles that were logged in, and we can now see that there's a new file post.json created. So if you click on this, I have a formatter, so I'll just click save. We see that now we have certain data that is now being captured and stored about the post. This will help us to construct a screenshot using this file. Now let's get started with how we can store the comments of this post as well. Just going to go down here, and after getting the title, this is where we will be processing all the comments that we get. First, we will sort the comments out using the controversial because we want the reel to be more interesting and engaging. So let's have controversial comments given to us. And we need to get the comment in a list format. We will be using this inbuilt method in this instance called lists. Okay, now we will need to iterate through the each and every comment. Let's just put up a for loop here. So we don't want our reels to be very boring and very long. So we want comments that are shorter than 100 words. I'm just simply splitting the comment body to see how many words are there. If they're greater than 100, then we will not process them. We also need to have comments which are not removed. So if you would have used Reddit, you would have seen that sometimes we get these comments which are removed or deleted. We want to continue in case we encounter such comments. And like we have done in post here, we will do the similar thing for comment, declare a comment structure. We will take in the data that we feel is important to generate our screenshots. And let's push this into the array and let's limit ourselves to about 5 comments. Okay, so I'll just declare this above. All right, so what we will now have is we will loop through all the comments we have. We will ignore long comments, we will ignore deleted or removed comments, and then we will store the comment data and push them into this array. What we want to also do, because comments are part of the post, here where we were storing the data, we will add another field called comments and we will just equal it to comment data. Let's hit save and run to see what we are dealing with. Good. So we are done here. Let's go to poster.json, format this, and see what we got. So as expected, we have got all the comments. We have got the author, the body, the ID. Yeah, that's it. Now we have all the data that we require from Reddit. One thing that I forgot is that we need to also add the time data to our structure. What we will do is go back to our reddit.py file. I have this function. I'll just explain this to you. Just let's import the datetime module. You can install this using pip3. Okay, so this function basically gets the time right now and the target time, which we pass it into. Then it calculates the difference. Then find out how many days ago, hours ago, or minutes ago was this comment or post actually posted. So using this function, what we can do is quickly go down here for comments and use the function comment.createdUTCs. So what this will do is convert the timestamp into a human readable format, and we will do the same thing for post as well. So let's just go here and let's save. Let's run this again. Go back to post.json, format it. Yeah, so now we see that the date is in this really nice format, like 19 hours ago, or 15 hours ago, 13 hours ago. So this will allow us to construct our screenshots with the date. Let's go to the screenshot.py file and code out the screenshot part of our project. For the screenshots, what we will basically do is use HTML templates, and every time this function will be called, we would use the same HTML template and generate a screenshot using Jinja, BS4, and ImageKit. Let me create a folder for templates. Here we will be putting in our post.html file. So this is a template. This code will be available in my GitHub repository, so you can copy it from there. I will also paste in the post.css file here. Let's see how this exactly looks like. I'll just copy the path and paste it in. So this is how our posts would look like. So we'll have the post title here, the author name here, the date, and the subreddit. Now let's use this template to generate our post screenshots. Let's declare a function called screenshot Reddit post. Let's put up an ID here and let this take a post. So we will open the post HTML file here. For that, we will use with open templates post.html and we will open it in read mode as file. We will use the variable template content to get all the contents here in this template file. Let me also import templates from Jinja. So you can install this using pip3. Just 1 second here. Yeah. Okay, so what we are doing here is simply rendering the template and substituting the values that are required to populate the screenshot. Now what we have is an HTML string with our customized data inside it. This is destructuring the post as title, author, date, and subreddit. So let's import beautiful soup from VS4. And now let's pass the HTML string that we have here using this BS4 library. Now what we do, if you see the post.html file, we have an ID called post here, right? So we want to target this. The idea here is to read this node and get only the screenshot of the node. Now we will use image kit, port img kit, and using this library, we will generate a screenshot here. We want all our screenshots to be stored in one place. So I will just create a new folder called screenshots. Now let's get the new HTML string from the target node. And now using image kit, what we will do is process this new HTML string to generate a screenshot. So I have already set up the format and the width of the post. I have obtained this value after trial and error. Now let's try this. Now let's run this function to see how this works. So I will call this function. I will use post.json for now to see how the screenshots are generated. And I will use the post data here itself. So we'll also add the subreddit here, and this would be ask slash ask reddit. Okay. Now let's run this code. Let's go to screenshots. We should see an image here. So using the values that we have immediately populated this fields and generated the screenshot that we wanted. So you can obviously go ahead further and add some more style customizations, or maybe put in the upward downward number here as well. So that customization is obviously possible. For the scope of this video, we will only be using this data. We will also now go back to screenshot.py, and let's code out the screenshot comment function, because the template for comment will be slightly different than the one we have for the post. Like we did for the post, what we will do now is go and get the comment.html and comment.css file and paste it into templates folder. Just a reminder that you can get these files on the GitHub repository. The link is in the description. So if you want to see the comment.html file, we will just copy path and just paste it over here. We see that the comment body, the font weight is different. We have author, we have date, and we do not have the subreddit here. All right. Now let's go back to the screenshot.py file and quickly work on the screenshot comment function. It is going to be pretty much similar, so I will just skip the explanation. Declare a function called screenshot reddit comment. We will open the file comment.html. We will then read the template content here. We will generate the HTML template like we did before, and we will get the rendered HTML by substituting the comment body, author, and date. Going ahead, we will use BS4, get the target node. What we are doing here is using Beautiful Soup to get the rendered HTML in nodes, targeting the comment node here. So we have an ID, and we are converting that into a string. And using image kit, like in the post screenshot function, we are generating the image here. So let me show you how this will work. Let me just run this function, screenshot reddit comment. Let's use the poster.json to get a comment here. Let's get the ID, and we will get all the other criteria that we need. Let's run this file again. Good. So we now see that we have two screenshots. One is the post screenshot and the other one is the comment screenshot. Let's go to the main.py file and combine all these components that we have built till now together. While we are combining these components, we will then also work on the video generation py file to combine the audio and video together using text to speech and MoviePy. Let's go to the main.py file and declare our function main. We will be importing getPost from reddit.py. Let's just go to reddit.py and remove the function call here. And let's return posts here. We will call the getPost function and we will set the videos to generate to 5. Just remember that because the default name is Ask Reddit, so since we have not given it any subreddit, it will default to Ask Reddit. Let's store the function return to posts, and once we get the post, we will loop through it. Let's import screenshot Reddit posts right now, and let's call the function to screenshot the Reddit post. We'll pass in the post ID and post. For our gameplay background, I have the subway.mp4 file. I'll just drag and drop this to my code editor. You can either use this file, which will be available in my GitHub repository, or you can record your own just by playing some Subway Surfer. Alright, so this is a 60-second video clip that I have recorded. We will go back to our main.py file, and now we will use another Python library called moviepy.editor. From moviepy.editor, and we will import video clip file. We will load the subway.mp4 file into the moviepy library by calling the video file clip function and giving it the path to our subway.mp4 file. Now what we need to do is combine the screenshot that was generated here, the video file, along with the text to speech audio. For this, we will go to our video underscore generation.py and let's write the generate clip function, which will help us to generate the clip that we need. So I'll first write the generate audio function. For this, we will be using Python library called gtts. From gtts import gtts. Let's write down the function. So we will have a generate audio function here, which will take in text and it will take in the ID of the clip that we need to generate. We will set the language to English by default. So you can obviously change this to if you want to generate reels in another language. We will get the audio clip and we will call the function that we imported. Set in the parameters as text. Give it the text. Lang is equal to language. This will be English. There's another field called TLD, which we will set to US. This is basically the region, and we'll set the slow to false. Audio clip dot save. So we want to save all these audio files into a specific folder. So let's create that right now. We will call it voiceovers, and let's save this. And let's save it with the ID. That's why we needed the ID of the post so that this would be unique. Alright, so our generate audio function is complete. Let's generate the clip. We will call this a function called generate clip. We will pass in the ID, the text, and the video clip. This function will basically be combining our screenshot, text to speech, and video gameplay. Okay, so let's quickly code this out. So we will generate the audio file using the generate audio function that we just created, and we'll pass in text and we'll pass in the ID. Now you'll use the MoviePy Python library to load our audio file and image clip into MoviePy, and then we will process them so that we can combine these elements. Audio clip is equal to audio file clip. This is a class which we get from the MoviePy library. We'll pass in the path. It should be the same one as this. Then we will get the image clip. Use image underscore clip for this, and we will use image clip, which is again given by the movie.py library, and we will load a screenshot onto this. So for screenshots, if we can see the going back to the screenshot.py file, what we are doing here, wait, let me just remove this. So what we are saving it in this directory. So let me just copy this itself, go to video underscore generation and paste it here. What we also want to do is set the duration to the audio clips duration. So why we are doing this is because we want the image to only be visible till the text to speech audio is playing, and as soon as the audio is over, we want to stop displaying the image. So now I'm going to add certain configurations which I got after a bit of trial and error. The first is we want to declare a variable called margin, which is 20. Then we want to fetch the height, width and height of the video clip and the width and height of the image clip. So we will do width video height video is equal to video clip dot size. So this gives us the width and height of the video clip. Next, we will take the width and height of the image. With image height image is equal to video is equal to image clip dot size. All right, and we want to set the target. So what basically we are doing is resizing the image and maintaining aspect ratio here so that it looks good and in center of the video gameplay background. The target width for the image is the video minus margin because we want to leave some gap from the edges, and the height to set is width to set into h image divided by W video. Let me just explain what we are doing here. What we need to ensure is that we reduce the width of our image to match up the width of our gameplay video, then leave a bit of a margin. And that margin is left because we don't want it to be an edge to edge image. And when we do this, our image will sort of distort. That is when we resize the height to maintain the same aspect ratio of the image so that it doesn't look stretched. All right. So with this, we will resize the image. How we do that is using the resize function provided in the image clip class. So image clip dot resize, the width we want to set, the height we want to set, and we add 70 to add some padding. Then we set the position to the center of the screen. As a part of the cleanup, we will remove the voiceover and screenshot from the folder. Okay, this is os.remove, it deletes the files, and we will return the audio clip and image clip. Yes. So this is pretty much the brain of our entire logic here. This handles the resizing, the combining of video, audio, the screenshot, and returning these elements so that we can stitch it up together in our main function. Now let's go back to the main.py file. So what we want to do is store audio and image clips separately. So audio and image clips. So audio clip is an empty array as of now. So are the image clips. I'll just tell you why we are doing this in a second. Let's import the generate function that we just created from video generation. We will import generate clip. Now just remember that the generate clip function will basically return an audio clip and an image clip. We will get the audio clip and image clip after generating the clip from the post ID, the post text, and video clip. Okay, so we haven't really gotten the ID and text, so let me just declare them above here. So we are just extracting them and putting them into separate variables for ease. So the ID is the post ID, the text is the post title, what we want the text to speech to say, and the video clip is just the loaded file of the Subway Surfers video. Now these generated audio clip and image clip, we will append them to this array. So the idea is that after getting all the results, we will just stitch the video together to just seem like one long video. So we will just append it. All right. And now I will declare another variable called end time, which will be equal to audio clip dot duration. I'll just explain this as well in a minute. So after doing this process, we would have generated our audio clip, our image file successfully, and we would have stored it into this array. Now let's loop through the comments. For comment in post comments, so this is the array of the comments that we had. We will screenshot the comment, and here we will just simply pass in the comment ID and the comment object. Just to reiterate, what we are doing is calling this function and running this code here. And the result for this will be generating a screenshot of the comment in the screenshots folder. All right, let's go back to our main file. So we will do something very similar to what we did with post. We will just get the audio and image clip from the comment object now. We call the generate clip function, but here we will pass in the comment ID and not the post ID. The text will be the comment text, which is the body key in comment. And the video clip is the gameplay video clip, which is common for all the screenshots. We get these audio clip and image clip. There are many criterias that can happen. The video clip duration can be exceeded by the audio clip duration. We don't want that. Say the video is 60 seconds, but the text to speech audio is 61 seconds. So we need to handle this case. So what we want to do is, if the audio duration is going to be higher than the video duration, when we chain these pieces of clips, we want to stop it. So we will just quickly add a check for that. Observe if the video clip dot duration is less than the end time. So the end time will be the previous audio clip's duration. I have added this padding here for the time, so we just don't get cut off immediately, and after text to speech is over, there is a bit of a delay before the video ends. Now let's append the audio clip to the audio clips array. Again, observe. So what we are doing here is setting a start time of the end time. So what we want is, what should happen is, the moment the previous audio clip stops playing, that is the when we want to start the next audio clip. To facilitate that, we will be using a set start function, which will be the end time. And observe, the end time is the duration of the previous audio clip. When the first audio clip will get over, that is when the second audio clip will start. Similarly, what we want to do is do the same thing. We want to do the same thing for the image as well. The image clip should start only when the previous file ends. The duration has to be as long as the previous audio clip, and there has to be a 0.75 seconds of delay, so that everything is not chained and the user has time to process the segment of the clip. And the final step in this loop is to simply update the end time. Why are we doing this? When we append it, the end time should be updated total duration of and plus the 0.75 second. So what this does is basically, if say the first audio clip is for 5 seconds, the second comment audio clip is for 3 seconds, then the end time here will be for 5 plus 3. 5 plus 3, 8 seconds and 8.75. So it will not be as if two consecutive things are running one after the other. There will be some delay there. By the end of this entire loop, we will have all the audio clips and image clips ready to be stitched together. So in this scenario, say the total combination of the audio clips, the total duration is only 20 seconds. So we should not let the video go on till 60 seconds. We want to trim it down to 20 seconds. How we do this is using the subclip function. So the subclip function will trim the video from the 0th second to the end time, which will, by the time this entire function runs, the end time will be the actual duration of the audio clips, the actual time of the reel that is to be generated. Finally, now we need to stitch the videos up. So I am just going to run this. We are going to use the composite audio clip function. So let's just import this as well here. What this will do is combine all the audio clips. So if you're not aware of this operator, this simply spreads the audio clip. So this array will have audio clip 1, comma audio clip 2, comma audio clip 3, all the contents of it. And we store all this in the audio final variable. So this is the chain. This is the final audio for each and every segment stitched together. And now we will, in the video clip, we will replace the video clip audio with the final audio. So now we are just setting the background audio to the stitched output, and then the final video file is equal to composite video clip. So I'll import this as well. What we are doing here is combining the video along with the image clips. So the video clip already has the audio, so that is already set. Now we want to overlay all the image clips onto the video. And finally, we will just simply write the output ahead. So before we do that, I'll just declare an index variable above so that we can uniquely name each and every file. It will come out as output underscore 1, output underscore 2. I will create an output folder here where we can store all our files. Output. And here we will write all those files to disk. So the output will be like output1.mp4, and when we move ahead, we will update the value so that we can have different files generated with their unique names. So just set the audio codec to AAC. The frames per second will be 40, and we will use 4 worker threads for this. Yeah, with this we are actually done. Our entire function is ready. So let's just run this once and see how it works. Let me just expand this. Let's call the function before we run this, and run python 3 main.py. So this can take a couple of seconds to run, and once it is all over, we will see that all the files are successfully generated onto disk. We made an error here, so let's see what the error is. On line 12, we need to pass in the subreddit. Okay, so the post does not have a subreddit. Yes, we forgot to include this as a parameter. So what we are going to do is go back to the main.py file. Let's just go to get posts. And for every p data, we will just set the subreddit key to subreddit name. All right, let's run this now. Let me clear the terminal and run. So that took a few minutes, but now what we can see is that the output folder has 5 files indexed from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 total MP4 files that were generated as we wanted it to. So if you can see these files, you may not be able to hear them. These are all stitched together. So this is the post that it found. As we proceed, then we can see the comment as well, and there's text to speech in the background. Now, one thing you will observe about these, none of these videos are more than 60 seconds because of our logic to trim them before they reach the length of the video. And they are all of variable lengths. So this one's of 53, and this one's for 57, this is 58, and this is 53. We have successfully created a program that will generate Reddit reels on its own. So now if you want to generate a bulk of them, all you need to do is mess around with this field. Yeah, just change the videos to generate from 5 to say 100. And just you can sit back, relax, and after a couple of minutes or maybe an hour or so, all these reels will be generated for you to upload to whichever platform you want to. Thank you for watching my video on automated content creation. If you found this video helpful, please consider giving it a thumbs up, subscribing, and sharing it with others. I value your suggestions, so feel free to leave them in the comments below. Stay tuned for more exciting tutorials and tips. Have a great day.